Today I'm going to show you how to make your own homemade garam masala. Usually, most of the time we tend to look into the store and just buy a pack, but it's really easy to make it at home. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to make different types of spice mix. So today I'm going to show you what I usually make at home, my spice mix recipe. So this spice mix I'm using is going to go for both vegetables, into vegetable dishes as well as meaty dishes. So I try to kind of make something that will suit all of it. So something more general. Usually my mom would make one for meat, one for biryani, one for curries, different recipes for different dishes. But since I'm always running out of time, I'm going to show you a really simple, basic garam masala spice mix recipe. Okay, so for that, the pan is heating up. I put it at the lowest flame so that the spices don't burn. Tip number 1, make sure every time you're making your own spice mix, especially when you're dry roasting, stay here, do not move. Why? Because when the spices burn while it's dry roasting, when you move away and it burns, the flavor, the entire flavor of how it's supposed to be completely changes. What happens is, when it burns, the chemicals, the natural chemicals that's in the spices, gives you a different taste than what it is supposed to be giving you. Another question you probably have in your mind: why am I dry roasting it? Why am I not just grinding all the spices into powder form? Because dry spices, for example, let me give you an example of fennel seeds. Fennel seeds in its natural dry form is not strong enough, meaning there is so much of oil, natural oils in these spices, that the minute it hits the heat, the oils kind of release. The aroma releases, which means if you would have used the spices on its own without dry roasting, you won't get maximum flavors. So for maximum flavors, dry roast it. That is the second tip, dry roasting. Basically, dry roasting brings out all the natural oils. It's like waking up the best in the spices. So the other tip I would give you is, if you're looking for heat in the spices, which means if you're looking for chili powder, something spicy, chili spicy, like in spicy heat, not the color, the spicy heat, I would suggest use dry roasted chili, whole dry roasted chili like that, rather than powders. Because powders, when you roast this, it gives you more flavor. Powder has been already gone through that process. It's great, but it would have lost its little bit of freshness. Okay, so if I wanted spicy, but in this recipe I'm not going to use it, I would use whole red chilies rather than chili powder. That comes to my fourth tip: never ever dry roast powdered ingredients or powdered spices on high heat into the pan. Always take the pan off the heat, and in the end add in the powdered spices. Okay, so here's a recipe. I'm making about I would say about 150 to 200 grams. I'm almost out with my last batch of the spice powder, and since I'm making it, I thought I'll make a video and show you how I make my recipe. Okay, this one goes really well with chicken curry, with mutton curries, and even with pilaf rice, biryani rice, pulao rices, even the fish curries, fishette curries. Yes, this goes well. Okay, so one more point with this recipe is, I'm not going to add in the heat because I want to control the color and the heat later when I cook the dishes. So I'm going to keep it to just the general spices, which means no chili, no red chili, and no turmeric. Okay, so I'm not going to add this, but you are more than welcome to add it if you want to. That's up to you. Again, this is just a guideline what I'm giving you. You can really do, add in whatever you like. There might be a spice that's not in my spice box. Right now I have this spice box. There might be a spice that's not in my spice box, but feel free to add in whatever suits you. Okay, so for this recipe, 2 to 3 tablespoons of fennel seeds. I will post the recipe with this video. Let me get the tablespoon. That is 1, 2, let's do 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons of fennel seeds. Okay. 1 heaped tablespoon of cumin seeds. 2 tablespoons of coriander, whole coriander seeds. 1, 2. Okay. 1 tablespoon of cardamom. Okay, mine is a large cardamom. I've seen in the market, in the store, grocery stores, you would get tiny ones and you get big ones. So approximately I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 20 cardamoms. Okay, that goes in. And cloves. Now this is one spice. You need to be really careful with it. You cannot add too much of cloves. Cloves has got the highest oil compared to any other spice here. That's why you find it clove oil in your toothpaste. Okay, so you got to be careful. It is really strong. It can numb your tongue if it is too much, and then it kind of kills the flavor of every other ingredient that's in here. That's, I would say, about 1/4 teaspoon. You can go up to 1/2 teaspoon too of cloves. And the next one is star anise. Now my star anise is being all broken up, but you know the star anise is beautiful star-like looking spice. So that would be 2 star anise, but I have the same star anise is kind of, you know, broken up pieces. I'm just going to add 2 equivalent of 2 here. And cinnamon stick. Again, this is the pure. Can you see that? That's a pure cinnamon stick. Can you see those layers, those beautiful layers? This is the pure Sri Lankan cinnamon stick. You usually would find this one, which is cinnamon, but technically or scientifically it's called cassia. Has the same oil, has the same chemical compounds. That's why it tastes exactly the same, which means the chemical compounds in cinnamon is the same as the chemical compounds in cassia. So you can't tell the difference. But it is 2 different plants. It comes from 2 different plants. Okay? So cassia and cinnamon. Now really it's up to you. If you do have true cinnamon, which is Sri Lankan cinnamon, please use this. If you have your regular cinnamon, which is also called cassia, fine, you can use it. You can crush it with a pestle and mortar, because what happens is if you put it whole, your blade can get damaged. So crush it a bit and then add it. You would only need 1/4 of this. That's it. It's really strong. But because I'm using Sri Lankan cinnamon, which is a true cinnamon, I'm just going to add in that bit. 1/4. Okay? Quite a bit of cinnamon goes in. That's it. And now I'm going to bring all that together. Okay? And stir. Again, low heat. Really low heat. Not on high heat. Okay, now here is where you would like to, if you want to add in the spiciness, you can add in more heat to your Garam Masala powder spice mix. You can add in whole black pepper. You could add in about a tablespoon of whole black pepper. But why I don't add it in is I feel I cannot control the heat later. If it's too spicy and my son says, "Mommy, it's too spicy," I know I can't eat it. I have no control over it. So I prefer adding it later when I cook. Okay? I can smell it. I wish you could. That's it. How to tell whether it's roasted enough or not? First of all, I can see, it's a bit hard to see from the camera. You can see the spices popping lightly. You switch that off because the pan is still hot, so that means it's still kind of roasting, still heating up. Switch it off. Okay? Again, stir just to make sure there's a movement and doesn't burn. What happens is, if you see the color, then you know. If you see the color and you see the spices popping up a little bit, like crackling, then you know it's getting done. And another way to tell is the smell. The entire kitchen is filled with the spice smell. Okay, that's the way to tell whether it's ready or not. This is it. That's your homemade garam masala. As simple as that. This can be cooled. This can be stored in an airtight box, like that. But okay, before we get to the airtight box, very important. When you blend this, please do not take this and put it into the spice blender or your coffee blender, which you could use, either one of them. I'm using a small spice blender. Please do not put it into the blender and run it when it's hot, because it could be a mess. You could burn, you could get injured, you could, it could be on your face. So be careful, because the pressure can build from the heat and it could burst all over. So please let it come to room temperature, then only you blend it into a really smooth fine powder. Let me show you my previous one I have. There you go. That's it. Look at that beautiful mix. This is great for steaks when you want to rub on your grilled chicken, steak. Good for your curries or anything. So again, once it's done and once it's blended to a smooth paste, always store it in an airtight box for maximum freshness and leave it in the chiller. The chiller is one of the best places to keep it fresh as long as you can, because I'm sure most of us is not cooking with this every day. So you will be, oh, I know I make this, it's going to get wasted, I have to throw it out. And with the weather in Southeast Asia, it's really difficult to keep it fresh. So leave it in the chiller for about 2 to 3 months for maximum freshness, and then you can just keep making fresh batch. Another tip: try to make smaller batches, not too big. This is just nice for me for about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much I'm going to cook. So make smaller batches. That way you can always come up with fresh batch, and you can keep trying out new recipes. Adding in new spices, whatever you wish. You can add in bay leaf, you can add in nutmeg, you can add in mace, you can add in there's this if there's any Indians who are watching would know something called black cardamom. So really you can add in anything. That's it. A simple recipe for homemade garam masala.